Throw away my phone. Bye, phone. Onto fluffy blankets. 5 minutes late because my internet literally died right before I went live. And I got it back up. But it is Visual Thursdays time. Katawa Shoujo. See a nice 0 viewers tonight, which is rare for a visual novel, but oh well. The show will go on, regardless of anybody here or not, or otherwise. Welcome to Visual Thursdays with your host, Anime Fan RK2K. We are continuing on the Rin route for tonight's Visual Thursdays of Katawa Shoujo. So with that said, I'm going to jump right into it, regardless of whether or not people are here. Are you sure you want to go? The weather that has been wonderful for all of June has finally taken a turn for the worse. The leaden clouds drooping over the town look worrisome and the air feels heavy and still, just like before rain. The forecast says there's a 60% chance of rain this afternoon. Maybe this will mark the beginning of the rainy season. Late stream is still stream? Yes, Tom. Welcome. Of course, I'm sure. I've been waiting for this all week. I mean, I planned to picnic at some nearby park, with snacks aplenty bought from the convenience store, but with the weather this gloomy, it seemed risky. I asked some other people to come too, but they didn't want to go because of the weather. We had to prove them wrong. Wrong how? You know, like how it always rains when you think it won't, and when you think it will, it doesn't. We'll go no matter what, so it's a win-win situation. I've been going without sweets for weeks because of practice for the track meet. Now I can splurge on anything I want. Nothing is going to stop me now. Thought you were all about a healthy lifestyle and stuff. Oh, Hisao, you understand so little. There's not a single girl on this planet who doesn't love sweets. I don't like sweets. She doesn't count. Anyway, is this clear? Without missing a beat. It's a ring situation. Oh, that's so bad, Tom. Time yourself out, even though it's impossible. Completely. We will go and eat our fill of sweets. Damn straight we will. I'm going to have to work it off later, but it's so worth it. Emi seems to be extremely determined about this. She is positively exhilarated, brimming with energy as always, but something seems special today. Looks like she can hardly stop herself from jumping up and down on the spot. Come on! Grasp the wooden handle of the umbrella I brought and start to follow the two girls, who seem to have no qualms about leaving me behind if I keep daydreaming. Should continue with these then? Alright. I can see your drawing from your memory bags here. My umbrella is really fancy, the old-fashioned kind with the curved handle and a metal spike at the end. It used to belong to my grandfather. Looks like an antique, but it's in really good shape. Almost as good as new. It's really big too. I remember how my grandmother and I all fit neatly under it when a rainstorm caught us on an afternoon walk years ago, when I was around 9 or 10. Grandparents are both gone now, but I still have their umbrella to keep me dry when it rains. Also, I never mentioned my grandparents before. It's good to know, so good to know. Walk along the road leading down from the school towards the convenience store, clouds casting their dark shadow down on us. The weather seems to be taking a turn for the worse, and I'm pretty sure just felt a raindrop on my head. Raindrops are falling on my head. Did you guys think of taking umbrellas? Really looks like it'll rain. Rin looks at her limply hanging sleeves and shrugs her shoulders. Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't think Rin's gonna be carrying around their umbrellas. They're Rin drops. Oh, that one's actually I like that one. I don't have one. Besides, a little rain won't kill us. She pushed her chest out, looking very confident about that. We aren't made of sugar. Thought that's exactly what girls are made of, especially considering what you're planning to gorge yourself on today. Girls are made of sugars and spice and everything nice. And what are guys made of? I don't know. Hey, it rains here a lot in New York as well, Tom. Don't think you're the only one that has dreary weather. Actually, I can't compare. New York City, Long Island isn't that terrible right now. Except, actually, I think it's gonna rain tonight. So tonight, I will experience the weather of the weather of the home country, England. She just sticks out her tongue in reply. The walk down from the school to the local shopping district is not a long one. It's not very short either. It's all downhill, so our steps roll easily, but time stretches out nevertheless. Just some rain, deal with it. Yo, I have an umbrella. I don't have to deal with it if I don't want. I could just use an umbrella. The distance is right there, that gray area where you don't expect a trip to be quickly over with. We aren't preparing for a long walk either. Thus, the trip is slightly too long to stay comfortably quiet the whole time, though the girls don't seem to mind. Rin walks calmly ahead, seemingly lost in thought. I'm kind of worried about starting a conversation, since the last time it didn't end very well for either of us. I haven't exchanged a single word with her since then. Emmy, on the other hand, is way too happy about just walking. Seems to literally jump a little on every step, or skip over cracks, or balance on the edge of the sidewalk. Every now and then she comments on something to which Rin replies in an automatic-sounding, nonsensical way that makes Emmy giggle a little. Those clouds sure look dark. Yeah. Giggle. Something like that, right? As we reach the bottom of the hill, the first raindrops begin to fall. I feel one hit the top of my head, then two more hit my nose in quick succession. It's not one or two rain clouds anymore. The entire sky has turned shadowy gray, billowing rain clouds swirling right on top of us. You never once owned an umbrella, Tom? Well, it depends. It really depends on like one. If I think my parents always had umbrellas, but for me personally, I actually do very specialized umbrella shopping. I like picking umbrellas that can also double for other functions other than umbrellas. So, I pick and choose mine. I do serious umbrella shopping because of that. Oh shoot. I guess we aren't going to have a picnic then. What now? Maybe we could have a rain picnic. A picnic in rain. No. We'd all just catch a cold. I don't like getting me or my snacks wet. I kind of like it. Not the snacks part, though. Emmy considers our problematic situation for a moment while I open my umbrella and lift it up, trying to hold it so that all three of us get covered. Hey, Sal. Have you been to Shanghai yet? It's a cafe somewhere around here, right? I've heard of it. It's a nice place. Let's go there and wait out the rain. It's just a really quick shower, and still go for the picnic, and if it gets worse, just order cake there instead. Neither Rin nor I have better ideas, so with Emmy taking the lead, we start walking briskly along a side street. Cafe is only a few blocks away, but even with the umbrella, can't avoid getting slightly damp. The rain keeps coming down harder and harder. Ah, it's pouring! We're all secretly wicked witches of the West, right? Raindrops leave tiny dots on the black asphalt road, which then combine into bigger patches like pointless artwork being made in front of our eyes in mere seconds. Hey, you know what that is? I didn't know that. I know he saw a new an art term. It's pouring heavily, drumming on the hoods of the cars parked on the sides of the street, already flowing in little creeks along the sidewalks. Yellow light shining through the rainwater streaming down the windows. It's very warm and inviting. Oh. The good music. Ah. Dun, dun, dun. And I shake the excess water off the umbrella and head inside with them, following Emmy to a vacant table in the furthest corner of the small cafe. The place is almost full. Apparently other people had the same idea as Emmy. Now we are all stranded together here in this cozy little place. What do we do now that Hisao is melted? You take Rin, I take Emmy, Tom. That's how it works, right? I'm kidding. We make a new Hisao and tell him what happened to the first one. That's why he now has an umbrella. That's actually what already happened. That's the canon, okay? The original Hisao melted, so we made a new Hisao and we gave him an umbrella and we told him what happened to the old one. Varnished wooden pillars and paper screens mixed with Parisian-style tables and chairs in discordant harmony, contrast of old and new. Prefer the first plan? Fair. Light jazz plays quietly in the background, though it's mostly drowned out by a murmur of the customers. But not for me! Got the music. Hell yeah. Anyway, there's only one waitress serving the full house, frantically gliding from one table to another, trying to keep up with everything. To my surprise, I think I recognize her. Watch her deliver a tray of teacups and pastries to another table, taken by Yamaku students. Then take an order from a middle-aged couple sitting across from us before finally turning to serve us. Yuko? Now that she's close and facing me, see that it really is her, the part-time librarian of Yamaku in full waitress attire. It's a pretty cute outfit, and she has tied her hair up in buns to match. I like jazz? Oh man. I like lots of music, but if you're talking about styles of music, like I really love my symphonic orchestra, my jazz. I'm a really big fan of like classical music, so I really like my jazzes, my wind instruments, and my orchestras. So yeah, I could probably listen to this all day, just like, oh yeah. Ooh. Plus, jazz is so much fun to play on the piano and stuff. I used to be a pianist, like once upon a time, and like jazz songs always were fun to play. Like, just groove out to them, man. It's a completely different image from her mousy, plain style at her other job. Yuko blinks a few times, looking confused, and remembers that she remembers what she was about to say something. Oh, that she was about to say something. Okay.
Welcome to the Shanghai.
So you work here too? Thought you were a university student or something.
Yes, that too. It's a part-time job, as you can see. It's Sunday, so there aren't any lectures. Good thing too, since today has been so busy, I'm wishing for another pair of hands. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a rush, as you can see. What can I get you today?
Amy doesn't hesitate even for a second. Her eyes glitter like those of a kid in a candy store.
Tea for everyone, and cake for me.
Yuko tries to stay as formal and professional looking as possible, smiling cheerily at my ravenous companion.
Ah yes, today we have a choice of strawberry shortcake, raspberry layer cake, or lemon meringue pie.
Strawberry, no lemon, no, actually I'll take both. She looks at me in challenge. I'll take just a pie.
Nothing.
Amy makes a face I've written as though she had bitten into a lemon. She's clearly unhappy with her for not joining in.
Oh, come on, Rin. That's not polite at all.
Nothing. Thank you.
No, you silly. I meant that you should order something, too.
I'll take a straw, then. My feet are all wet.
Sorry?
The drinking kind of straw. One, please. Because obviously uncertain of what to think about this, she fiddles with her pen and stationery for a moment, looking like she's about to cry, before deciding that we've finished ordering.
Thank you very much!
Runs away. Wow. That's good. Yo, if someone ordered a straw like that, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna even question it. No problem. No problem. Got it. Straw. Drinking straw. Got it. She bows down a little bit too deeply and scampers to safety behind the counter. After that ordeal is over with, I have a chance to relax a bit and take a better look at the surroundings. Almost every table is occupied by people happy to be out of the rain, thankfully sipping their tea while waiting to dry off. Fragments of grumbling about the lousy weather or discussions over recent homework carried from nearby tables to my ears. Each one overlaps the other, but all are covered by the sound of falling rain. Pitter patter, homework, pitter patter, work. Pitter patter, lousy weather. Pitter patter, rain. That's how I imagine it anyway. After a while, Yuko returns to our table, carrying a tray with a huge teapot, 3 cups, a slice of cake, and 2 slices of pie. Sounds like she slammed it. She slaps the tray onto our tiny table with a clatter, almost sending a teapot toppling over into Rin's lap. Barely recovered before she bows again and leaves, hurrying off to serve the other customers. Yup. Amy has been eyeing her strawberry cake very hungrily all this time. Somehow she managed to contain herself until Yuko was out of sight. She digs in with gusto, while I content myself with pouring tea for everyone and placing the straw in Rin's cup. And looks at the way the tea swirls round and round in her white china cup, her eyes half closed, almost like she is being hypnotized. Pick up my fork, eye the food in front of me. The pie I got looks perfectly done. A thick layer of meringue on top, creamy lemon custard. Oh, that does look a really good lemon meringue pie. Actually, tomorrow, I have to get my windshield fixed, and it's going to cost a lot of money. But there's a really nice bakery near my parents' place because the car repair shop is near my parents' place. So maybe I'll stop in and see if I can pick up like a cake or something. Be pretty good. Anyway, after having the first bite, it paused, savoring the combination of tangy citrus and smooth sugary meringue. It's quite good, though a bit too sweet for me. So the tea's for.
It's very good.
Talking through a mouthful of cake, already halfway through her slice, even though it's not exactly small. Nom 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 nom.
I wanted to taste some of that.
Before I get to respond, she strikes out at my delicious pie, takes a piece with her fork, escapes with it.
It's pretty good too.
What are you doing? I have a slice of your own.
Yeah, but if I started on that before finishing the cake, it'd be rude, don't you think?
Her insolence is outrageous, but the gentleman in me allows for no retaliation. Really? Yo, if Emmy did that to me, or if anyone did that to me, I would steal their food back. I'm like, this is war! And I'd eat their food and make them watch on in horror, maybe. No one steals food from anime. This is where you're not here, Sal, because you would kill Emmy for that. Tom, I'm in agreement. Protect the foods. The foods! The sacredness of no fork over my plate. No one touches your meringue? Fair. Glare angrily at her, and she replies by sticking out her tongue impishly. Emmy's even more hyper than usual today, but I don't mind. It's good for her to let off some steam. Take another sip of the tea in my cup. It's good and hot, even though I don't usually care much for tea. And the atmosphere in the cafe is very relaxing and talkative. And I don't have the jazz. You make your own? Ooh, fancy. I'm terrible at baking, so I can't do that. Even if it's following directions, I for some reason always mess it up. I don't mind spending the rest of the afternoon here. Not even after Emmy orders her second piece of strawberry cake and Rin spends most of the time staring fixedly at the rain streaming down from the heavens. Yuko rolls her eyes at the third piece of cake disappearing to Emmy's bottomless stomach, just as quickly as the previous two. Despite the passing of time, it's still raining outside when we exit the Shanghai, but it seems to be letting up a little, though, I don't know, man. Too bad it had to rain on your parade. Weren't we supposed to have a picnic? And he doesn't look too distraught over this turn of events.
Nah, it's fine. We had a good time, didn't we? I feel really pumped up. I'm sugar high. In fact, I've had so much cake, I had the entire cake. Woo! And then Emmy just starts bouncing like away, and she's just gone. And that's why this is the Rin route. Emmy just bounced it out of existence from in front of them. Well, Tom, you know. I think you'll be able to do it still. It isn't even raining that hard anymore. I kind of want to hike back to school to get rid of this energy and work off some of that cake.
Stretches her arms out and arches her back like a cat. Rolling her shoulders around twice, she smiles brightly.
Man, I can't really run with these legs though, especially uphill. Wish I brought my other ones.
This notion sounds odd, spoken so casually. I guess for Emmy, changing legs is sort of like someone else changing shoes.
Maybe if I walk really fast. That'd be kind of like running. I think I'll do that.
I won't be able to keep up with that going uphill, though. Really, I'm in bad shape. Plus, you'll get wet without an umbrella.
It's hardly even drizzle now. 3 drops don't hurt. I think I'm going to go for the track after I change my legs too.
Except I think it's pouring harder, right? He skips away from the protection of my umbrella and goes on ahead at a brisk pace. Suddenly, she seems to remember something as she stops and spins around.
See you tomorrow. Come eat lunch with us on the roof. I'll bring enough for 3.
Rin and I left to watch her wave at us and skip off again. Soon, she disappears around the street corner. I'll never understand why Emmy is perpetually in such a hurry to get somewhere. So, would you like me to walk you back to school? So that at least one of you won't get wet? If you are happy with it. Seems neither of us wants to keep alive the strained atmosphere from the argument a few days ago in the art room. Which makes me feel relieved. I don't want to bear grudges, and I'm happy that Rin feels the same way. Thus, it is decided that we are content with each other's company for now. We start walking in the same direction as Emmy, I'll bet at a considerably calmer pace. Get a bit closer to Rin, even though the umbrella is already big enough to shelter us both. And feel her nearby warmth, providing a contrast to the chill of this rainy weather. It's just like any fucking dice. Yeah, no. She gains enough energy that she crosses dimensions into the world of Super Smash Brothers. That's right. Super Smash Brothers, I mean. Come on, let's make it happen. Make it happen! Someone messaged Sakurai. I have a really ridiculous idea for a character. Emmy from Katawa Shoujo, please. Just do it. Make her run really fast. Emmy especially work to gauge. Oh, maybe, actually, yeah. Raindrops hitting the umbrella make a distinctive sound, playing the staccato melody of rainfall for nobody in particular. They'll never see it coming, right? Yeah. Realize I haven't been outside in the rain in what feels like forever. I inhale, taking in the scent of rain, feeling the weather with all my senses. The world melts into a blur inside the rain. The colors of the sky have deepened from gray to dark blue. Hues of red added to mix from the sunlight reflecting off the clouds. The low-hanging sky looks pretty, as if I could reach out my hand and touch it. Have I told you how much I like rain? It's like painting. It makes you feel connected. Almost echoing my thoughts, Rin lets out one of her own. Slips out of her mouth, circling around us gently. Everything looks so soft. Like the outlines of things just disappear. I like that. It's like the rain is hugging me. Her voice sounds different from usual. More gentle now. And soft. Wonder if it's only because of the rain, or because of the mood the rain brought upon the quiet artist girl. Feel that mood in myself too, enhanced by her words. Yeah. I like rainy weather too. It's nice every once in a while. I wonder what it is. What is it about the rain? Everything. Silence follows the statement, as it allows for no continuation. So I had to push the direction of the conversation a little. But you know, if you like the feeling of being connected, what's the problem with showing your paintings to others? Don't you want to be connected to other people? It's not the same thing. Comparing apples and squids. Yo. Both delicious foods, you mean, right? Am I right? I bet people were like, what, the guy eats squids? What? Anime eats squids? And I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I eat squid. And apples. Not together, though. That's weird. Brought up the subject Rin wants to avoid, and shuts her down again. Question stays hanging between us for the rest of the trip back to school. Can't help wondering what on earth I could have said to truly reach Rin. Squids, yeah, Tom, you know. Just feel that she's lacking an identity. She has a strong personality, but if pressed to elaborate, I'm not sure I could describe it accurately. She feels like a person who is in constant conflict with herself. Never know what to expect when I talk to her. Wonder how she herself experiences that disconnect. Rin is asking herself every day, who am I? And obsessively paints images to find herself day after day. What does she think of that way of living? Hashtag Squid Gang. That's the hashtag we want to propagate, right? In a Katawa Shoujo visual novel chat. Hashtag Squid Gang. People are like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, you don't know, but we know. It's like instead of the you know what I'm talking, it's the you don't know what I'm talking about kind of moment. All right, we're yeah. Anyway, the irony is that's the exact same question I've been asking myself for the past 4 or 5 months. For me, it was miserable. I can only assume that's the natural state of being for this girl. We stop in front of the dormitory as Rin turns to face me, as if sensing my thoughts from afar. The gaze travels emptily past my left shoulder into the shapeless rainfall. Black eyes seem to suck the low ambient light into themselves, like a reverse mirror. The empty gaze lets nothing out. I want to understand what's going on behind those eyes, to work it out myself. Rin opens her mouth and closes it without saying anything. Silence lasts for a few more moments before she takes a step towards the dorm building. See you tomorrow. That's it! Just like, peace. Next section. Next morning, like every second Monday morning until he says otherwise, I have an appointment with the nurse. They allow me to skip part of my first class in the morning, and I don't feel any shame in skipping the rest either. Rather than being thankful I get to miss world history. I instead feel dread when I think about these appointments. Bruh, yo, world history. You missed world history? Come on. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun class, you know. As long as like you read, you'll probably keep up with it, right? Wake up at the normal time anyway and wash myself in the bathroom. I share with Kenji, tidying my sleep disheveled hair. I quickly get dressed and put my laundry in the basket. Pack up for the school day. I have all my homework done, like usual. So I have a bit of free time now. There's no point in going to the morning class for 20 minutes before I have to go to the nurse's office, so I lie down on my bed and read a book until it's time to go. It'd be funny if they just put another, like, transition right there. Door to the nurse's office is open, which is unusual. After a while, knocking to announce my arrival. Looking from his computer screen, motions me to take a seat with a friendly hello. Steam wafts up from a piping hot cup of coffee on his desk. It's probably not his first today. How are you feeling on this wonderful morning, Sal? I'm alright, I think. It was cold yesterday because of the rain, so I woke up feeling a bit groggy. You too, huh? Quite a few kids got caught without an umbrella, so you've been spending time handing out masks and curing sniffles. Alright. Today it's test day. Give me your arm. Set my left arm towards him, keeping my face expressionless. The nurse ties a rubber tourniquet around my bicep with a practice movement and briskly goes about his business. I don't think anybody really likes getting stuck with needles, but at least got over my distaste for them. I had to. Now, barely even twitch at the moment of truth. Just pinches his towel instead. He's like, "Oh, what the hell, man?" It's funny, huh? Once that's done, the blood pressure check follows. Then there are checklists and questionnaires to go through. The nurse nods and scribbles in my answers to the questions as I give them. Alright, let's have a listen now. I unbutton my shirt and put it neatly on the back of the chair I was using while he puts on his stethoscope. I know by heart the order of places where he's going to listen to my lungs and heartbeat. Just my breathing to be even and deep without even being asked. It's become routine now for both of us. It's funny, this is pretty much the only time in one's life when you really concentrate on breathing and nothing else. It has always amused me. Nurse lifts the cold steel stethoscope from my chest and places it a few inches lower, listening again. Contact of the metal makes me flinch on reflex, even though I was expecting it. Furrows his brow, but I can't tell if it's because he's unhappy or if he's trying to pick something specific out among the complex multitude of irregularities in my heartbeat. There's something wrong? Please don't talk. Shut up, become more anxious. Nurse is nice, but I can't help disliking these mandatory checkups. Wonder if I'm going to end up hating all medical appointments from now on because of these. Finally lifts the circular metal plate from my chest, allowing me to talk again. Everything seems to be fine, dude. Are you feeling alright yourself? I suppose. Saw it yesterday when it was raining, and yeah, I really feel a bit under the weather in the morning. Maybe I caught a cold. Were you with Emmy? She came down with the cold too. People told her to stay in bed for a day or two. Really? I mean, I was with her, but I didn't know she got sick. Guess it was a dumb thing after all for her to go out in the rain like that. Yeah, well, let's put that aside. Everything seems to check out for you, but remember to be careful. Of course. I really don't want to go back to the hospital. Catches something, maybe repressed terror, I don't know. My voice and glanced up from some papers he was looking at. Hey, don't worry. At this stage, it would take a huge crash in your condition to get you re-hospitalized. Doesn't really reassure me, but grumbling about it to him won't make any difference. Quietly take my leave. I'm gonna go back to smoke my weed, dude. Wait, what? While along the corridor from the auxiliary building to the main school building, encounter a young female nurse coming the other way. She smiles at me when we pass by each other. And she's so unimportant we don't even see her face borders. The end. The lobby is empty of people. No surprise, since classes are still going on. Hear muffled sounds of discussion coming from behind the first floor classroom doors. Glance at my watch. I have to rush to get to my classroom in time. I don't feel like going to class anyway, so I decide to climb up to the roof and have an extra long lunch break. Amy promised she'd bring something for me today, but if she's sick, that's probably not going to happen. I'm not feeling hungry anyway, so it's all the same. Climb up the steep stairwell to the roof is oddly liberating, almost like losing weight. I feel satisfaction that it doesn't wind me as badly as it did the first time I came up here. Push open the squeaky door to the top and step into sunlight. And Rin's there, right? The chain link fence allows for a grand view over the treetops, all the way to the gray silhouettes of downtown further away. The dreary weather of yesterday is just a memory now. The silvery blue sky seems to be a mere arm's reach away. Forget for a moment that I'm in a bad mood. The warmth of the sun soaks into my bones, making me drowsy and lazy instead. Oh, no, I guess you're not. The bell rings for lunch break, startling me back into reality. Soon afterwards, the quad below me bursts into life. Students pour out of the doors down on the ground floor, intent on enjoying lunch at the quad, and the lush gardens in this perfect weather. Hear the door to the stairwell being pushed open. I don't bother turning to see who it is. Intruder starts coming towards me with uneven footsteps. The little river stones the roof is covered with rattle and crunch underfoot. Footsteps stop a few feet behind me, followed by a silence. I look upwards into the glowing eye of the sun, absorbing its warmth with my whole body. What are you doing? Turn around out of courtesy at her first words to behold the slim, awkward figure of Rin Tezuka. She looks very much like herself today, too. Her hair is maybe a tad messier than usual, as if she just got out of bed. Stands with her weight shifted onto one foot, looking at me with mild curiosity, as if I were something in a store's display window. I don't know. Just spacing out, I guess. What about you? Emmy promised food. We usually eat here. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. I heard Emmy came down with a cold. Oh, I guess that makes sense. She wasn't in class. Yeah. I like that Rin still came up and said, like, I'm expecting food. It's like, yeah, but she's not there. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's not that uncommon to get a cold in June, though. You don't think she went running at the track afterwards like she said? The rain just kept going. Probably. In the rain? In the rain. That sounds like a bit too much for just keeping up a training regime. Emmy is a hard-headed one, so I can see her running in the downpour just because she had to. Well, that's obviously overdoing it. Probably why she came down with that cold, too. But I guess it's kind of cool. Speaking of that, I'm not feeling well either. Achoo! Rin seizes pretty hard, failing to stop it in time. She cranes her head down to wipe her nose on her shoulder, so deciding that would be too unladylike, I pull out my handkerchief and hold it to her nose. Here, bless you. Thanks. She clears her nose and I dab the handkerchief gently on it, wiping it clean. Her nose is really cute. Oddly enough, it's probably the girliest part of Rin's face. I'm blushing a little, but Rin doesn't notice. Thanks. I think I might be coming up or down with something too. Like I was saying. Hope not. Rin doesn't seem to be bothered about eating, so despite the lack of Rin doesn't seem to be bothered about eating, so despite the lack of Emmy-provided lunch, we stay up on the rooftop. She comes over and stands next to me, right up against the fence, looking into the same abstract distance as I am. Nobody else seems to be coming around to intrude upon this calmness either. It's quiet and peaceful. And we just pass time, just looking out over the fence, like, hey, pretty cool. What does one do on a lunch break if not eat? I don't know. See, I don't know. Work? Play games? Run on the track in the rain? I don't know. That's just at me, though. Turns out that between the two of us, we don't really know. Fortunately, passing time is an activity that manages itself just fine. We know there's no conversation to fill the silence between the passing seconds. No pointless activities like cloud gazing to spend upon the minutes between now and then. Time marches on relentlessly. Keep checking the time on my watch, then decide it's a dumb thing to do. Instead, I try to hold out for as long as possible before I check it again. Maybe I can hold out for 6 or 7 minutes. Rin remains silent, idly looking up at the cerulean expanse above us. I wonder why, more often than not, we don't speak much. She said that she doesn't like speaking because of her perceived difficulties with expressing herself properly. As for me, I think I just got sucked into the habit at the hospital, where I spent such a long stretch of time never really talking to anyone. Most of the time I feel comfortable about this quiet mood, and even when I get the feeling that I have to break the silence, it's always so difficult to come up with something to talk about when it's with Rin. She and I are on such different wavelengths, nothing seems to be on common ground. What is it that you like about the sky so much? She turns to me, her eyes dark and serious. Sky is the only thing that is perfect. I know it. You could say I'm an expert of sky if you wanted.
And I am even if you didn't want to, a sky expert. It's always different, but it's always perfect also when it's different. Follow her gaze up into the boundless blue expanse, thinking of her words. Have you ever wanted to be something different? You wouldn't be so bad to be the sky. No, I mean someone else. Someone different. To go to a normal school like everyone else, not have to worry about stuff. What stuff? Try to find the right words for a moment, but can't manage to form a sentence that I'd be comfortable with actually using. Man, I don't really want to say it out loud. Try. I'm not so good at mind reading. Don't you ever want to not be disabled? She thinks about this and then shakes her head, frowning. That's a hard question. I don't know what to say. It's okay if you don't say anything. For some reason, I'm just so unsatisfied with who I am right now that I'm constantly thinking of stuff like that. It's very hard to admit, but there it is. Honestly, I feel relieved about finally saying it aloud to someone, even if it's just Rin. I think I want to be different sometimes. I've thought about changing myself lately, but it's a bit scary, like walking backwards with your eyes closed. The difficult part is to know where your toes are not pointing. I mean directions. Even if I don't do anything, I would never stay the same. It's like my old paintings. They are different than what I paint now, because I'm really different. But they are still my paintings, so there's something same. That's really strange. I am different every day, but I'm still me every day. Who am I then? Is that a riddle? If you want it to be. I don't know the right answer though, so you have to come up with it yourself. Well, it's the sky, isn't it? Going by your definition just now. I actually managed to surprise her by that. Maybe she had already forgotten about it. That's right. But I was thinking about myself when I said that. Very strange. Could it be that I actually am the sky? I don't think that's possible. Your logic's a bit off somewhere. She looks down and shuts up, and I can see she's quickly going over the deduction mentally, seemingly unhappy with the result she finally arrives at. Yeah, maybe I'm not the sky. Would make sense. I have a hard time knowing what kind of person I am. You're not the only one. It's like my mind is in some other place than the rest of me. Underwater. Yeah, I wonder how it got there. Hey look, it's a Rin cloud. No, it's just Rin. Yo! Hope you had a good day at work, King. Not too stressful. I know work can be. I have no answer, so a brief silence falls between us for a moment. Shift my gaze back to the sky above us. The last time I really paid much attention to the sky was... guess it must have been at the hospital. I can only see a thin strip of sky from the window of my room. Walked up to the windows and pressed my face against the cold glass. The strip became bigger, but not by much. The sky made me feel sad and lonely, reminder of the world on the other side. I wonder if there's another world beyond the sky we see from up here on the school's roof as well. Can't stop comparing life at Yamako to my hospitalization. I really should. Not there anymore. The narrow sky from the window of my hospital room. The faces of the doctors. The faces of my parents. The off-white walls everywhere. Iwanako's letter, echoing the words she never said. Things of the past now. Wish I could forget everything up until now, and that time would stop completely. There would be only me, Rin, and the sky. Eternal lunch break on this rooftop. Perfect, unchanging, forever. I'm not sure if I like or hate this school. I could have gone to a normal school if I wanted, but I chose to come here. Why? I just decided I would. Kind of like melon or plum jelly. Do you think it was a good idea? I mean, there are a lot of good things about this school. I think there are a few bad things also. I know. Kind of collect people because they are interesting. People here really are amazing. Most of them, but not all. I'm not trying to get max rarity for Bermuda Triangle right now. No. Some people can't take it. They hurt too much. Gets really bad sometimes, you know. They hurt. I wonder if you're like that too. I hope not. I don't like things like that. How much does max rarity cost? I think the starter deck SP is like $200. So a lot. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like, a playset of one card is $800. That's a lot of money, guys. A lot. By the way, in comparison, the regular triple rare version of the trial deck costs like $2. Yep. Oh, the starter SP is $200? What? Was it $230? Is that the grade 2 you're talking about, Tom? I know we're getting sidetracked, but are you talking about just the SP version of the starting Vanguard? Because that one should only be like $20 at most. I swear. Oh, the grade 3. You mean the grade 2, Tom? It's the grade 2 in the trial deck. That's the main unit. And King, it's because literally people pay up the wallet for waifus. That's all it is. It's literally all it is. For waifus and shinies. Hey, not your case study. I'm not going to give up and die or anything. Anyway, I remember more that this place is too distant from the real world. They like lolly murmurs. And you know what's funny? It's not even the lolly. What's the real world? Everything out there. Real people. Normal everyday lives that fit together like a puzzle. You don't think we aren't like that? Real people? Maybe we aren't. Well, no, we are. I just meant that it feels more like we're the leftover pieces. Waifu vs. Dragon, waifu wins. Yeah, of course. That's all it is. That's all it is. People pay for wifeys. Rin thinks for a while, her almond-shaped eyes narrowing as she bites her lip a little bit like a child. Is it hard to be disabled? Her question earns a dry chuckle from me. You tell me. You've been in this business a lot longer than I have. Thinks about that for another while. I don't really feel that disabled. I mean, I do pretty much everything differently, but it's not that hard. I can always practice. I started to practice food things this year. I think I'd want to learn to cook in a real kitchen someday. Yo, what the fuck? There's an ant! Ant, bruh! Alright, we're killing this thing. Give me a second, guys. It's springtime and the invasive species have come. Where'd it go? Is it under the keyboard? Oh, there it is. Get out of here. Get out of here, Ant. Ant heard me talk about the food? Well, Ant's dead! Yo, I will save a spider any day, but an ant comes in and trying to invade my place. The only ants we accept are Ant-Man. Anyway. That's admirable, but I don't think it's just a state of mind. Maybe not to you. I have no good counter to that, so I concede by falling silent. The situation is making me more and more confused. I know what I want, but don't know how to reach it. Rin seems to believe she can simply will herself into the shape she thinks she needs to be. Can't decide whether she wants to be a bird or a butterfly. I think in the end, I'm not really that happy with who I am either. But that doesn't mean I regret being who I am. That's the thing that's wrong with you, Hisao. I've only started to process that rather blunt statement before Rin suddenly hugs me. What are you doing? Never been hugged by a girl with no arms before. To be honest, it doesn't really physically feel like a hug. The awkward way she pressed her body against mine, a lack of embracing arms, makes it feel like she fell on top of me. But the warmth of a real hug is still there. That's how I recognize it for what it is. I'm hugging you, Hisao. This armless hug. Aww. Aww. I know that, but... Is it wrong? I thought this is what you're supposed to do. I'm not really used to this kind of thing. First time Emmy hugged me, I got surprised and kicked her in the stomach. Oh, man. Oh, that sounds really funny. Yo, how about them gun memes for Joker and Smash? How's that sound, huh? I can kick pretty hard. So she hasn't been hugging me an awful lot after that. And we never saw it coming. Bam! This is Rin. It's not wrong. Just, no. It's just me. Things are a bit hard for me for the time being. I can't seem to properly react properly to anything. Really? So it is hard being disabled after all? Guess she has me cornered there. I don't have the energy to start arguing against it. I feel like I have to get something out. Well, no. It's not hard. I think it's just me overthinking things. I really wish I didn't feel so sorry for myself all the time. Me too, Hisao. Oh, I almost cried from saying that. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. All right. We're going to think more positively right at this very moment. Oh, God. My heart almost shattered from saying that self-deprecating line. Oh, man. Did not expect that. Wonder if I was always this fragile before I became this way after my incident. Nothing had ever truly shaken my world like this before, so there's no telling. I pressed her cheek against me tightly, and feel the warmth of her body close against me. Her body temperature feels really high, as if she had absorbed the sunlight into herself and was now sharing it with me. Perhaps it's a natural state for her. It's the most comforting thing I've felt in a long, long time. Wow, your heartbeat really does sound really weird. It's like a drunken percussion orchestra. Please don't say stuff like that. I get very uncomfortable. I laughed at her comment anyway in an attempt to ease the tension. It sounded a little bit too forced. Man, I'm sorry I'm such a mess. It's okay. It's the best part of you. Hearing that doesn't make me happy. She breaks off the hug and settles down. Awkward silence falls upon us like a blanket. Me feeling embarrassed about myself and Rin trying to arrange her expression is something she likes. One last time I glance upwards. This rooftop is really great. It's like I'm just a little bit closer to the sky. I know a better place, but we can't go there on lunch break. Take you there sometime if you want. The bell rings for the beginning of the afternoon classes. Rin stands up to make her way downstairs. I don't hurry after her. I decide to stay up here for just a little while longer. Thanks for the hug. Thanks for not kicking me. Thanks for not being Emmy and kicking me. Or not being, well, I guess not being Rin and kicking Emmy, right? If Rin leaves, I finally let tears roll down my cheeks and cry for my condition for the first time and only time in my life. They cast away that hollow person lying on the hospital bed forever. Oh, what? Hisao. Oh, Hisao had to finally let it out. That's nice. That was a very nice scene. I really like that. 2 days later, I'm feeling less miserable. I even go for a long, brisk, healthy walk like the nurse recommended, something which I had avoided and dodged with all sorts of excuses earlier. I don't want to wake up earlier. I'm tired. I ate 3 McDoubles yesterday. Wait, what? Yo, I should do that, man. I should go. Actually, I was thinking of going running, but if I want to go running, I would wake up like 4 in the morning, so that's why I didn't start yet, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a lazy fuck. And I'm not saying 4 a.m. is early for waking time for me. My problem is I go to sleep at like 3 in the morning. So I really appreciate having those extra few hours of insomnia. So I can go to sleep at like 5 and then wake up at 6. You know, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. Feel more active in class as well. Delighting our science homeroom teacher, Mr. Muto, with correct and properly delivered answers. My boy! Mr. Muto's like super stoked. The break right now between the 2 morning classes is too short for any sort of meaningful activity. Not too long to just spend it sitting in the classroom doing nothing. Going out into the hallway isn't much better, but flexing my stiffened muscles is a better use of time, letting them get even stiffer by staying seated. Alright, guys. Guys, you heard it. You heard it. If Hisao can do it, we can do it too, everyone. Get up from your seats. It's a stretch break. Salute the sun pose, guys, with me. No one? Anyone? No? All right. When this gets re-uploaded on the YouTubes, or if you're on the YouTubes right now, remember, take a quick 30 seconds to 1 minute salute the sun stretch pose. You not no move at 1 a.m., Tom. Fair. And remember that. To go rewatch this on YouTube, and stretch. Salute the sun. Anyway. The door of the neighboring classroom door opens, and the students of 3-4 emerge to further fill up the already semi-crowded hallway. Seems their teacher kept them in for a few extra minutes. Emmy is among them. She noticed me noticing her, which almost makes me look away on reflex. Like, oh no! I don't, however, and Emmy smiles at me as she happily skips toward me past the other students. Emmy looks pretty energetic, showing no signs of illness whatsoever. Seems to recover from the cold.
Hey! Good morning.
Nice to see you back on your feet. Feeling better now? She looks fine to me, but I still feel compelled to ask.
Thanks, and yeah, I do. Oh, it's just a cold, nothing serious.
Emmy laughs confidently, as if to emphasize her condition, wondering for the moment what would count as serious in Emmy's book. Seems to be eager to put the topic aside, though. Where are you going?
Off to Reen's room to see if she's awake yet.
Oh, skip the morning class? Sheepish smile emerges on Emmy's face and she gets slightly flustered.
Not exactly. It seems that she caught the cold that I had.
Sorry to hear that. Well, she was out in the rain on Sunday with us, after all. Saw her on Monday and she was feeling a bit under the weather back then, too.
Yeah, anyway, I was to nurse for some cold medication to give her if she doesn't get better soon.
She leaves to the girls' dorm. I want to go with her to wish her well. I want to tell her that I'm better now, too, but it doesn't feel appropriate. An unspecified feeling diverts my thoughts away. Somehow, just can't summon the resolve to go in there. This is what Iwanako went through when she tried to tell me what she felt. Oh, that was a quick one. Quick scene transition. Next. Even though I'm feeling more energetic, I'm still hesitant about going over there to talk to Rin. It's not until 2 days later, on Friday, that I finally gathered enough courage to enter the girls' dorms. That's the first person I meet inside for directions to Rin's room. Hey, excuse me, where's, Rin's room?
Who?
Tezuka's son? Who? The girl with no arms?
Who?
Who the hell are you? Crap, they're on to me! And then, somebody just, jumps out the window. I was like, wow, she wasn't even a student here. What the fuck? What kind of story is this? I don't know. Some made-up story that anime's thinking on the spot. That's the problem. Sorry, guys. I'll go back to the actual story. I'll leave it to the people who actually wrote a good story and not me. I knock on Rin's unmarked door and wait. For a few seconds of silence, I hear something rustling inside the room. Start wondering if maybe I should have brought something for her, like a can of warm coffee or some oranges. Could I peel them for her? Well, too late now. Turns out it was Rin. Just tricked them. The door opens soundlessly. It was already unlocked, and I find myself staring at Rin, who stares back at me. She looks like she just got out of bed with her hair all messed up. And barely any clothes on. Hello. There's a strange, stupid-looking smile on Rin's face. Not exactly sure why. Rin smiles so rarely that it seems to be out of place every time. Especially so now, given her partially undressed state. Said state makes me feel extremely conflicted about whether or not this was a good idea. Her cheeks are flushed, rose red, contrasting with the milky pale complexion of a person who doesn't get enough sunlight. Forehead looks sweaty, as though she might have a fever. Hi. Now what? I didn't plan anything further than this. Rin is staring at me with those expectant eyes of hers again. Something about this situation gives me very strange vibes. Her eyes are even more vacant than usual, and she seems to have a hard time focusing them on anything. The lack of clothing is disturbing, but since she herself doesn't seem to be bothered, why should I be? Exactly! That's what fan service is all about! Hisao, I guess, I keep telling myself that. Oh, yeah, well, thought I'd pay you a visit since you haven't been at the art club, and I want to talk with you and wish you well. Rin doesn't show any sign of recognizing what I just said. Made me wonder if she actually understood my words, or if she even heard them. Maybe it's the fever making her groggy. She might actually have been asleep before I came over.
Okay.
Turns on her heel and withdraws from the door. Walking back inside the small room, from the way I can see her walk to her bed and half fall down, half sit down on the messy pile of bedsheets. The open doorway seems to be more of an obstacle in my mind than the closed door was, but since Rin doesn't say anything else, I step through it and into her room. Rin is on her bed, leaning against the wall, leaving the only chair in the room for me. She's quiet even after I sit down, so maybe she meant to invite me in, just forgot to say it so aloud, an implied invitation as it were.
Very exciting. Nobody has visited me before.
The breaking of the silence draws my attention from the room to its inhabitant, who currently seems to be in the middle of a very profound thought process.
Actually, that was not true. About visiting. Emmy doesn't count even if she visits.
Aw, poor Emmy. Kicked her to the curb after she tried to hug you. Don't even count her as a person that visits.
She always pampers me too much. I think she's having too much fun. I think I forgot how to put a bra on by myself.
Just groggily down at her chest.
Which is probably why I don't have one on, now that I think about it.
I haven't failed to notice that Rin doesn't have her shirt buttoned up either. I try to keep my eyes strictly locked on hers. Eyes on the Rin eyes! Not anywhere else. The Rin eyes. Okay? You guys, just look at her eyes. Nothing else. It's rather evident that she's not a very body-conscious person. My own body, however, is quite conscious of hers right now. You know,
she came to wake me up at 7:30 today. Can you imagine that?
She paused for a while and glanced up at my dumbfounded face.
On second thought, you probably can. It's not like that reverse rainbow fish I tried to imagine earlier. That was hard.
Wait, eyes on Rin, you're good with that? Tom, not that way! Eyes on Rin's eyes! Oh wait, her eyes are closed. Damn it! I don't know. Something, I don't know. Well, yes. That seems like a pretty normal time to wake up if you want to go to class in the morning. Try to sound as reasonable as possible to counteract Rin's unreasonable annoyance. Told her to saw it off.
She gave me these meds and told me to take them.
Follow her eyes to the night table and then to the pills, the bottle sitting on top of it. Picked it up and turned around to look at the label so you can see what kind of medication we bought. Active ingredient codeine? You took all of these?
No, yes. I've been eating some since there's so many of them. Seems to make this thing not so bad.
Oh my god! Rich is like, I'm just getting high as fuck. It's great. Getting drugged. It's good times.
Actually, I think I'm feeling just fine.
Her head lolls around and around, making it look like she's either trying to stretch her neck muscles or possibly pass out. Took several of these pills. Can that be safe? This is bound to have some side effects, which I'm afraid I am witnessing right now. Rin is stoned.
I am feeling just fine. I am fine. Just someone taking this buzzing away from my head. I can't think straight.
The annoyed expression returns to Rin's face.
It's like many of those insect things, or one really big insect thing. Lots of wings, very much color and everything. What's the word for those? Oh, never mind. I remembered. It's butterflies.
She smiles slightly at her last observation. A small pause in her monologue is not long enough for me to dare say something that could potentially, but not likely, salvage this discussion. Oops.
I love butterflies. They are the best animal. Did you see any on your way here?
Isao. She utters my name as an afterthought, possibly to make clear that she is now addressing me instead of just speaking her mind to whoever might be listening. This odd situation has left me speechless more or less since the moment Rin first opened her mouth. Now that she herself doesn't seem to have anything else to add, silence fills the small room. As I glance around again in an attempt to find something to talk about. Rin's room is about as small as mine. The big window, which takes up most of the wall furthest from the door, opens to the east just like mine. It looks very normal, which strikes me as strange. I expected something more different. About a dozen paintings, most of them in Rin's signature abstract style, and a few art posters are taking up almost all of the available wall space. That's about the only real difference between her room and mine. The room is not exactly ascetic. but it doesn't look what I expected from a girl's room either. Faint smell of art. A paint and paper is floating in the air. It's the same smell the art room has. Rin isn't too concerned about being tidy, it seems. Everything she owns seems to be arranged in various piles around the room. Your room looks nice. It's an empty sentence one uses to fill empty spaces in conversations. My wits are failing me pretty hard right now. And, because a little blood's rushing a little too hard right now. Elsewhere, for Hisao. Say, yeah, would you like me to show you the places? She looks down at her half-open shirt quizzically, making me inadvertently follow her gaze to her chest. Oh, I guess I already did. Can't deny that, no matter how hard I tried to act properly. Oh, God. Sal, don't do it. It is very nice that you came to see me. Makes you feel very, what's that word? The one about things and stuff. Anyway, you came. Yeah, you came in more ways than one. Oh, shoot, I skipped that line. Go back. Okay. Rin's rambling makes me remember that I actually came here for a reason. You're sure you're not Hisao that much? Well, I don't know about that. Hey, about what we talked on Monday on the rooftop, remember? Rin doesn't seem to be exactly attentive right now. Not that she ever is. Plow ahead and get it off my chest anyway. I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to be better from now on, I guess. I hate being pathetic, so I decided that I'm not going to be anymore. I guess that's all. I guess I'm staring at you. I'm sorry. Sorry you're not this bad? Okay. Is that good? The blurry words flow out of her lips slowly and uncontrollably. I'm happy for you, I think. That's what I think. That's what you think, Tom? Sure. You sure? You shouldn't look so sad all the time. I mean, looking sad is fine if you're not sad. But you look sad like you actually sad. You look sad like you actually sad. Don't look sad if you are actually sad, because you look actually sad. But instead, it's okay to look sad if you're not sad, because you're not sad, but you just want to look sad. You get it? Get it? Get it? Okay. That's no good. Are you going on some training camp where they make men out of boys, or mountaintop meditation? No, I don't think so. Oh, I guess that's fine too. Sentence comes out of her mouth and probably her brain, one at a time, with a small pause between each, make her gibberish hard to understand. I just think it seemed like a good idea. Maybe it's not. Rin finished with one more line, getting to say the last word over herself. An impressive display of what I can only describe as mental shadowboxing. Shadowboxing. While embarrassing myself, might as well tell you that I'm sorry that I said some stupid things to you last week. It's your own business to decide what you're going to do. Seems to not register my words first. Not understanding lights in her eyes, and she waves her head around in a way that could be interpreted as anything. It's okay. I probably said stupid things too. It's just sometimes a bit hard to keep my thoughts the way I like them. They're not very straight, at least most of the time. Not that I want to have them straight, I just wish they were at least in some shape. Round is fine too, but I need more definition. Thoughts are very messy. Messy. She repeats the word melancholically, then flops lying down on the bed and nuzzles her head against her pillow, shutting her eyes. Enough. Tired. You should go. I'm going to sleep again. She opens one of her eyes to look at me. Was it you who likes to look at sleeping girls, or someone else? Maybe there were many of those. I can't remember. You can stay if you want. No, I'll leave. I have to do homework anyway. Stand up from the chair and take a step towards the door. Wait. Request stops me in my tracks. Not that I intended to scoot off right away. Look over my shoulder at the girl lying on her bed again with the strangest kind of smile on her features. Heh. She should smile more often. I can walk you to the door. It's the least a gentleman can do. Rin giggles like a little kid, making me beyond absolutely certain that she took far too much of her cold medication today. Sal's using homework as an excuse. I've always wanted to say that. Slowly and with difficulty, Rin first rises to a sitting position again. Then she stands up with even more difficulty, more slowly still. As if guided by some masculine automation, my eyes instantly lower to the curve of her thigh and striped panties, at which point my manners forced me to lift my gaze back to Rin's eye level. Don't look! It's getting almost too hard to do that. Stop it, Hisao! I know it's getting too hard to do that sometimes for you, but you have to stop yourself. Gosh. Rin is standing, although barely. Looks like she has trouble keeping her usual decent balance. Again, probably a side effect of the medicine. She takes an unsteady step towards me, then another smaller one as she knows that it's not a good idea to try to take big steps. Feel my muscles tense as I prepare to catch Rin if she falls down. He sounds very tense right now, guys. She managed to take 2 more steps before she falls against me. I'm surprised neither her downward momentum nor our slight height difference are able to stop Rin from pressing her heart-shaped lips squarely against mine. So the lips part after a confusing moment of nothing but the taste of Rin. Look down at her, trying to find some explanation for this bewildering event. It's like anime. Look at this sky-like background. The euphoric smile of a madman bronzed on Rin's lips again, and I wonder if I'll remember this tomorrow. I'm absolutely stumped on how to respond. And then Hisao failed! Rin takes a step backwards, separating her body from mine, making me only now realize that they were even connected in the first place. The second step is actually a fall backwards, luckily straight onto her bed. Soft thud of Rin's thin body against soft thud of Rin's thin body makes against the mattress breaks the silence. Move quickly over to see if she's hurt herself, only to be met with the peaceful face of dreaming. Rin sleeps. She's lying diagonally across the bed, somehow managed to have simultaneously fallen asleep while standing up, and fallen down in a way that she didn't injure herself. Fool's luck. I tuck Rin in, covering her with the sheets as well as I can, and not touching her. She feels very light, even though I'm not that strong. Stand up to look at her, the oval-shaped face, the dark eyelashes, shut against the feverish cheeks, the slender body covered with the pale sheets. Rin sleeps. A conflict. No. Conflicts, plural, churned inside of me. Think about calling a nurse to keep an eye on her, but decide against it. Take one more glance at her peaceful face, decide that she'll be fine. I do pocket the remaining pills, though. Codeine, it's dangerous, man! Oh, I'm gonna save these for later. Wait, what? I exit the room and close the door silently behind me. Exhale deeply, only now realizing I had held my breath for the better part of a minute. Taking a moment to relax, I try to calm down my heart, racing like a jackrabbit. It'd been really funny if Emmy was right there, like going, "Hi." Just saying. That's what I would do in a story. I had trouble getting to sleep that night, so the next morning finds me exceptionally groggy. Briefly considered skipping class to remind myself that I was supposed to be a stronger person now. I got up like a good boy and put on my uniform, and made my way to the main school building without eating breakfast. That's bad. I sit in my seat in classroom 3-3, waving a greeting to Misha and Shizune like I do every morning and let the day wash over me. Misha wahaha'd only 5 times in class today. The afternoon classes are always longer than those in the morning. This is true regardless of whether I count it by the minute or by the number of doodles drawn in my notebooks. Today I'm especially distracted as I keep thinking about Rin. Did I manage to properly tell her that I want to get better? Did she understand a word of what I was saying? Think about the kiss we shared and what it means. She's so out of her mind, maybe it means nothing. But we've been getting closer lately. What does that mean? Think about Rin more and more nowadays. I wonder if she thinks about me. Do what you do, and that's not eat all day until 11 p.m. every Monday. Don't do that, Tom. Get something for your breakfast. You do it for breakfast, Something small. A small biscuit or something, The ringing of bells makes me flinch, and I realize I haven't been paying attention during the latter half of class at all. Look at the assortment of sketches traveling up and down the margins of my notebook, the only thing I got done in the last hour. Feeling vaguely disappointed in myself, I pack up and get to the hallway. Rin is standing right outside the door, her presence stopping me in my tracks as soon as I spot her. Posture is relaxed as always. I suddenly feel like just ate a crowbar. Well, that's a weird analogy. Having a hard time meeting her gaze. Doesn't seem to have any trouble looking at me, but those dark eyes are making me feel flustered for no reason. You always avoid breakfast, Tom. Don't do that. Although, I think I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow. Actually, I have like my Starbucks gift card still. I have like $30 left on it. I should like totally just at least go and get something to eat. It's hard to look straight at her, so I turn my face away a little. I don't know what one should say in this kind of situation. Then again, I rarely know what to say to Rin in any given situation. Hi. Hello. Try to get rid of the awkwardness in my voice and invoke a more natural way of speaking. So I worry about where I should put my hands. Feels like they're in my way somehow. How are you feeling? You were pretty out of it yesterday. He sounding completely natural, guys. I'm okay. What do you mean yesterday? You don't remember? She tilts her head to the side like a bird, looking somewhat confused. I think this expression always looks really weird. Remember what? I have a pretty bad memory. About yesterday. What about yesterday? Came to see you and I don't remember that kind of thing happening. She really doesn't remember? I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel disheartened all the same. I remember that I promised to show you one place though. Did that happen for real? Maybe I just think that I remember that and I really don't. No, that was real too. Okay, you want to go? No? Yeah. Well, sure, why not? Is it far? It's not. Together we walk downstairs and outside. The usual summer day, whirring cicadas and all greet us. It's immensely hot, and without the air conditioning the classrooms offer, start sweating immediately. Sweat pouring out. Start along the tree-lined pathway that leads towards the dorms. Cherry trees offer shade with the sunlight blinking through the holes in the canopy. The light creates a chaotic pattern of shadows dappled with bright places where the beams hit the pavement. Rin's eyes are wandering in every direction but mine. Get the feeling that it's intentional. She leads me to the back gate once again, taking us through it and into the forest beyond. As before, the dropping temperature and the drastically reduced levels of light make it feel like the forest is swallowing us into its cavernous belly. We head uphill along the same path as last time, snaking around trees and boulders over roots and rocks, past wild undergrowth. Birds sing somewhere in the woods. Yeah, I can hear them. Soloists for the humming background music of the treetops. Go past a small clearing with a big maple that is now called the worry tree. Its climb steepens and becomes easier again. I just stop a few times to catch my breath, then hurry after Rin, who doesn't stop to wait for me. Soon I'm out of breath again. Suddenly the trees end and we emerge from the forest. The boundary of the woods is sharp and abrupt, so a line had been drawn to mark it. The hill continues to climb up a little further ahead, but from here to the top is a rocky meadow, patches of grass and small bushes that look like they are growing straight from the rock. Soon reach the highest point with the forest behind us and the view to every direction open in front of our eyes. Sea lies far below and away, lazily reveling in the quiet afternoon mood. You can see pretty far from here. The vista is beautiful. Wonder how high up we are. Breathe the fresh air and feel my heart rate slowly going back down. I think I might have overdone it a bit. A higher pulse is dangerous for me. Feeling fine right now though. The wind picks up, ruffling my hair and causing the trees below us to sway. Makes the grass undulate in waves as the breeze sweeps across the hilltop. Sun shines from the open skies above upon us. A few clouds passing by to shadow it. What was painful heat before is now gentle warmth. Take a good look around. The hilltop is pretty in the way nature often is. Unplanned harmony found in the natural arrangement of things. The most striking feature is the abundance of small yellow flowers. They're literally everywhere in this small meadow. Can't help commenting on it. Wow! A lot of flowers. Thanks for your insightful insight, Hisao. Yeah. Do you know this kind? They'll fly away. Yeah, dandelions. There are not many of them at school, because they cut the grass so often. Nobody cuts grass up here. Fragile-looking flowers will soon turn white and fluffy like cotton, and the wind will carry their seeds away. They're weeds! Crouched down to look at one tiny yellow flower, silently basking in the sunlight. Not a hint of white yet, so it's still waiting for its time to be fulfilled. I brush my fingers against the delicate yellow petals, feel the soft texture of my fingertips. Feel nostalgic somehow. Hear Rin approaching from behind and stand back up to face her. She has a weird look on her face. Something on your mind?
I don't know. It's just... She looks so sad all the time, become obsessed so easily, it makes you confused. I really don't remember much about yesterday except that you came to my room, and that's why I thought I might be so confused, because I don't know why. It's because people that you don't know the house, they don't know about it. We always talk about strange. I don't see strange. That just makes it even more new and strange colorful. That was not a good one. You know, just I wanted to say some remember the same. Really want to say also really idea of feelings. I'm really those feelings because of yesterday. I took it. I was really strange. I just because see that I was only totally that real, but it's terrible, useful at the same time. But right now I'm gonna make because of grasp her shoulder and squeeze hard to make her stop. I don't have the capacity to take all this in at once. Holy crap, that was really a lot out of nowhere. Okay. Rin shuts up instantly. Take a breath. Fair. I saw the lines going, all right, I have to go. We're going. Oh. I'm not upset. Why would I be? I'm just a little confused, but it's alright. Wonder if I was making a face she doesn't like again. Guess I've been thinking about yesterday all the time. Maybe I look weird. Wish I had a mirror with me at all times. No need to get it all said at once. I'll listen even if you talk slower. It just came out. Sorry. I'm okay now. I just wanted to say something. I didn't mean that much. It's weird, isn't it? She looks at me with a surprisingly timid expression, one that I haven't seen before. Can't help but laugh a little. Yeah, it's weird. You're a pretty weird person, but there's nothing wrong with that. Thanks for being worried about me. I'm going to get better. Told you that yesterday, but I guess you don't remember that either. I don't. I wonder what else I forgot. Hopefully nothing important like my own name. That'd be terrible. Well, you kissed me. I did? Yeah, you did. On the lips. Try to sound as matter of fact as I can. I worry that I might be blushing again. Did you kick me? No! Why would I do that? Then it's all good, right? It's okay, right? I didn't forget my name. Yeah, it's okay. Which I was more suave so that I could come up with a better follow-up than to that. But nothing comes to mind. It's a good thing that Rin has more to say. I feel relieved somehow. I think I should say sorry. I'm really bad with people. Some things are hard to understand, like jellyfish. Do you understand jellyfish? I guess not. People are like jellyfish to me. I don't understand. Now it's her turn to make a face I don't really like seeing. I've never really had friends. Well, then, I'm gonna drop a save. I think, this is when we say, but what about me, right? What about me? I'm your friend. Because I think the cop-out way is going, what about Emmy, right? Because, like, oh yeah, I want to be a cop-out. I'm going to say, what about Emmy? It's like, bruh, she kissed you, not Emmy. No, I'm your friend for one. I mean, think about it. We already talk a lot to each other. We've even gotten upset at each other, and they've forgiven the other for that. That's what they call friendship. It's really nice of you to say that. I've always been able to tell everything to pencils and paints and paper. They're my best friends. It's hard with people. I have to use words. That's hard for me. Yeah, I know. You told me about how you forget. Rin nods at me wordlessly, and I dare to attempt showing her a little encouraging smile. I hope I do it properly. She doesn't reply in any way. I feel really glad. The distance Rin puts between herself and everything else has made me feel really uneasy ever since I met her. We become real friends. I'm sure I could understand her more. I'm sure that this way, we can close the gap of understanding between us. My thoughts don't transmit to Rin. She seems lost deep in thought. Wandering amongst the sea of yellow flowers covering the grassy hilltop. It's just as well. Time passes. The breeze makes the taller grass sway gently in time with the wind. Rin hums a little song to herself so quietly that I can't tell what it is, if it's even anything at all. A strong gust sweeps over the hilltop, and the sound of the trees in the wind buries the song away.
I check my watch, more out of habit more than anything else. It's 4:30 right now, on this Saturday afternoon. She looks into the distant horizon with that odd blank stare of hers, as if she were looking at nothing at all. Her pupils are dark and quiet, like a pair of deep, still ponds. You are going to become better, right? Sure. Me too, you know. I'm going to talk to that friend of the teacher and ask her to put my stuff in her place and work hard to get all that's done. I decided that just now, you know. But I think I knew it all along. I've had this feeling for a long time now that I'm going to change. Even if I hate it and I don't want it. Even if I wanted to, I would change. Like, I'm not enough the way I am. I think this could be a good way to do it because it's like a straight line. Like I've learned all the things in my life so far just for this. It's just art. It's the only thing I really know. I know what I'm going to do, so it's good. Not afraid at all. Feel like I always do. Is that weird? Nope, not at all. Close my eyes and give in to the irresistible sensation that has been growing inside me all week long. Full up towards the surface of my own life. Pressure of being underwater slowly diminishes. The weightless sensation becomes stronger. Break the surface of the water, lifting my head into the sunlight, and inhale deeply, breathing in fresh air, as if for the first time in a long, long while. The lungs fill with oxygen, I open my eyes to see Reen's peaceful, determined face. Walk down the slope carefully and slowly to avoid falling down, Reen in the lead and me a few steps behind. Reen surely can do this. Even if she can't, she's going to pull through. I'm sure that I can keep my head above water too from now on. Sun sets behind our backs, setting the world ablaze in its orange glow. Keep watching the back of the red-headed girl descending the path a few steps ahead of me. It's only this much. This distance between us is definitely within my reach. Distance. Interesting. Yo, shoutouts to Hisao being in the thinker pose and Rin being in, I believe it's the Aphrodite statue, right? That's some good art references right there, just saying. I asked you a question, Nakai. Shake my head to fend off the dazedness. Teacher looking at me as if the teachers look at me, as is everyone else in the class. Oh, sorry. Wasn't paying attention. What's the distance between? Never mind. Different question. Why are you here in this class? To learn about physics. Yes. Yes. Well, no. That's the answer I want to hear. To acquire knowledge is a secondary reason for you being in this school. The primary one is to learn the rules of society, the norms and ethics that govern your everyday life. You don't come to school for the classes, you come to interact with the other people there. Classmates who are your equals and the teachers who are your superiors. You learn how to form social contracts and maintain them. In other words, how to be a part of society. School itself is a microcosm of the entire society. Locke was the one who realized that, you know. School is not just a place for learning. And of all the kids your age, you guys should know that better than anyone else. He paused for a moment and lets his eyes sweep over the class to see if the message sunk in. At the very least, it shut everyone up and got them to focus on him, captivated either by his voice or the sudden change of topic from physics to the philosophy of education. However, my class, as you so aptly put, are a place for learning about physics. Points at me with the piece of chalk he's holding. So, no sleeping during class. Got it, Nakai. Yes, sir. In the corner of my eye, I can see she's in a scowl, and Misha's barely contained giggle, sink deeper into my seat. After classes end, I'm the last one to leave the classroom, close the door behind me, and quietly make my way to the art room. Club time passes in relative peace and quiet. I sit in my usual seat next to Rin. She doesn't seem to be in a talkative mood. She's even more distant than usual. Today, we're going to draw a still life, and get to choose from either a vase full of fake flowers or an arrangement of rocks, sticks, and canvas. The teacher encouraged us to gather around the preferred motif, emphasizing perspective, texture, and lighting as the key points of this exercise. I look at Rin to see if she prefers one of the subjects over the other, but she just tilts her head, signifying nothing. Club members quickly shuffle their chairs around the classroom to get closer to either the vase or the clutter. Rin and I both pick the flower vase, but only one of us seems to do any work. She's ignoring Nomiya's assignment, just like she suddenly started ignoring me. She's begun doodling something idly with her foot, not really even looking at what she's drawing. Try to catch her gaze, but she looks out the window. It's making me uneasy. Rin almost looks like she's asleep with the way she's leaning back against the chair, the legs resting easily on the desk. She's not completely given up on the drawing. The more I try to relax, ignore, or just be myself, the more it feels like I should ask if something's wrong. After club activities are over and others have filed out, Rin gets up from her seat and marches over to Nomiya with unusual determination. I will do it. Nomiya was humming to himself while sorting a box of pencils by hardness, turns around with a mixed expression of friendliness and incomprehension on his face. He's sorting things like, what will you do, my girl? A gallery person. I can talk with that person. At least yesterday I thought I could. And today too. I think I want to try it. I'm going to go all the way. The widest smile I've ever seen on any person's face lights up the teacher's features. It's almost literally beaming. Oh, wonderful! I had almost lost hope. Such a hard-headed girl you are, but I knew that sooner or later you'd understand as well. I will call my good friend Sayonji and arrange a meeting. You'll need to show her your work so she can estimate it. I've told her about you, but obviously you should talk face to face. This is so exciting, isn't it? Nomiya is talking more to himself than to us and walking in circles around his desk, waving his hands around wildly all the while and sticking his tongue out of his mouth for no reason. Picks up his cell phone from the breast pocket of his jacket and flips it open with a stylish movement, starting to look for the number to call. Beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop 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 boop. Why does it make all these weird noises when he's just going up and down his contact list? While he searches, he notices me staring and gives me a beaming thumbs up. Yeah! I shrug back at him, doing my best to not look smug. Then he finds the number and makes a call, turning away from us and lowering his voice once it goes through, so I can hear his excited tone. The call doesn't last long. Fabulous! Saya is at the gallery right now, and she said we could stop by right away if that's fine. This is most excellent. Do you have some kind of portfolio to show, Rin? She just shakes her head at the question. Never fear, I've taken some photos of your paintings. We can bring those and maybe a couple originals with us. Those will be quite sufficient for now. There should be some recent ones around here in the back, right? Pulls out a folder full of photos out of a desk drawer, and charges toward the back where there is a small storage room, and extra cabinets for all the materials and tools the art class and club use. He soon finds what he was looking for and crudely wraps 2 of Rin's paintings in some brown packing paper. Nakai, would you carry these to my car? Pick up the 2 oil paintings. They aren't heavy, but do make navigation somewhat cumbersome as they follow Nomiya and Rin to the parking lot. Nomiya has a pretty nice car, not something I expect a high school teacher to drive. I wonder what kind of salaries they earn in Yamaku. Canvases are stuffed into the trunk, where they just barely fit. The teacher's over-enthusiastic prompting, and get the car along with them. Rin answers my questioning stare, confirming nod and a nonchalant shrug. Guess I become some sort of assistant for her now. Yeah! A physicist and assistant to an art person. Hell yeah. Nomiya doesn't go light on the pedal. Smooth ride takes just about 10 minutes to bring us to the city center, where we pull into a tiny parking lot and get out of the car. Pick up the paintings again, looking around. It's just like any city in Japan, really. Same style of buildings, people hurrying here and there, office workers sweating in their suits in the summer heat. Wide tree-lined streets aren't something you see everywhere, though. Maybe they are the city's specialties. It definitely has that feel of a city which I thought I had already forgotten. I'm really comfortable walking around. I haven't actually been here before. No? In that case, it's about time. It's a great city, lots of wonderful folk around here, and most importantly of all, a vibrant cultural life. Ah, Saya's place is just around the corner. After turning around 3 more corners, Nomiya stops in front of a door. There's a nameplate and big red letters over it. 22nd corner. Yeah, you can see it in English, guys. Is this really the 22nd corner? Of what? That's bothering me too. I mean, Where to start counting, and which way do you count? Rin gets worked up over the strangest things. Unlike me, Nomiya ignores her completely and pushes the door open. The gallery is very clean looking, and the air conditioning makes it cool and very comfortable. The white walls and big windows facing out onto the busy street make the whole place feel airy and bright. There's nobody around whom I can see, however. Most of the floor space is empty, with only a few large tables and a counter for furniture. There are paintings too, of course, poster advertising an exhibition for an artist I've never heard of. Most of his work seems to be portraits or landscapes done in a more traditional style than Rin's abstraction. Summoned by the bell on the door, a lady who looks maybe around Nomiya's age comes from around the corner. She's dressed in a sharp suit, her straight dark hair and a perfect ponytail behind her head. A pair of flashy, expensive-looking eyeglasses frame her eyes. Second glance, I'm not so sure of her age anymore. She looks old and yet not actually old.
Sai, hello!
She clearly recognized the teacher, greeting him warmly.
Oh, there you are, Shinichi, and so quickly. I take it that these two are your students?
I hope that's good for a Saya voice, guys. I don't know what she's supposed to sound like.
Indeed. Let me introduce you. This is Rin Tezuka, the one I spoke to you about. And the healthy-looking lad over there is Hisawa Nakai.
She takes a long, hard look at both of us, especially Rin. Feels like we're being evaluated. That a worth of some abstract kind is being calculated for us. Her eyes linger for a long time on Rin. On her eyes, her empty sleeves, tied in knots, her posture. Saya takes her first impression of Rin with an intensity I've not seen used by anyone else before. Once finished, she smiles amiably.
Pleased to meet you both. My name is Saya Sayonji. I am the owner of this gallery. Could I maybe offer you some tea? Oh no, thank you. We're fine. Let's get down to business. To promote Rin's art.
I lay the paintings on a tabletop to give the gallery owner a better view. Noe pulls out his folder of photos. The lady studies Rin's works carefully, absentmindedly brushing her cheek with her fingers while letting her gaze sweep over the paintings. Her eyes remind me of a bird of prey of some sort, so sharp and somehow very calculating. Takes her time, slowly going over the paintings in order without uttering a single word. The teacher looks very nervous. He tries to point out certain details and other things about Rin's work, but it seems like she's not listening.
And that over there, and that, Saya, are you listening to me?
So, just look at the pictures. Looking at the actual paintings. Well, Nomiya and I keep looking at Saya, trying to look for some hint of a reaction on the gallery owner's face. Rin lets her gaze wander around the gallery space. Suddenly she pipes up.
Is this really the 22nd corner?
So I raise her gaze from the paintings to look at Rin, but doesn't answer. It's probably for the best. She takes stock of Rin's slouchy posture and her dreamy eyes that are again moving restlessly about. The way Rin seems to be detached from a situation that's supposed to be very important for her annoys me just a little, practically holding my breath here. Saya has gone through all of Nomiya's photos and inspected the 2 oil paintings I hauled here. She goes through all the material again, this time at a quicker pace. Finally, she gives her verdict.
I like it. Though, if you don't mind me saying, you're still a bit immature, searching for your own direction, perhaps?
She picks up one of the photos.
Still, just look at this. I just can't take my eyes off it. Like a little kitten playing around. That's what your art makes you feel, young lady.
Thank you, I think. Nobody has ever said that before, I think. That's all that Rin has to say. Something about what the gallery owner says and how she says it makes it sound patronizing to me, but hold my tongue.
Anyway, what a wonderful imagination, though, isn't it? I've always said that Tezuka has a great eye for composition and color harmony. And technique. Remember, all these are done with her feet. Of course, we need to put some of the simpler ones on display, too, for the lay people, right, Sai?
She just snorts derisively.
You know how these Philistines are. What do they understand about real art? They'd just be at a loss with the abstractions and themes here. But it'll generate more publicity, that's good, isn't it?
Saya smiles gently at Nomiya's remark and turns back to the paintings.
I wonder. To tell you the truth, I just don't know if all this makes an exhibition. Even if I like it, I don't get the feel of a theme, of cohesion. There's no over. And really, Who would expect such from a young artist like that like the kitten here?
Oh, no, no, no. It's definitely doable, especially if we get a few new pieces and touch up some old ones.
I don't mind painting more. I'll do anything. It's a bit of a stretch.
Trust me, I wouldn't have come to you if I didn't believe Tezuka was ready. You can see it too, can't you? I know exactly what her kind is capable of, and you know too.
These words give the gallerist lady a pause. A hollow, boundless look takes over her eyes for a moment, as if she was looking through or maybe past Nomiya. She says nothing, but her mouth becomes a tight, flat line, as if stretched. Finally, the moment passes. So basically, I think Nomiya is touting Rin's genius, but I don't think Sae sees it as that, right? Like, I think Sae is seeing something else entirely in Rin. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Sae sighs and takes a few steps, walking in a circle as if to help organize her thoughts. She takes another look at a photo of the painting she particularly liked, one that made her call Rin a kitten. She placed her hand over her mouth, lost for her words. After a few moments, she shakes her head. I don't know what to say. After seeing you, dear, and these paintings of yours, would you excuse us for a moment? I want to talk to your teacher in private for a bit. Sae draws the art teacher aside, and they talk in hushed tones for a while. Can't hear what they're saying, but over her shoulder I can see the lines around the corners of her mouth tighten as she motions with her hands in time with her words. The expression on her face. What kind of expression is it? I couldn't say. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like I think Nomiya is like too much of a kind of like a I think Nomiya is like too, in this particular instance, Nomiya might be too either way, I feel like whatever. I don't know. I can't get my thoughts together in words, so I'm just gonna continue just reading, okay, guys? Once they're done discussing whatever they had to discuss, they give one another a serious look. Feel something that goes beyond mere words transpiring there. They walk back to us. Sae looks seriously at Rin, her left hand reaching as if instinctively towards a pack of cigarettes that's lying on the table. She picks up the pack and extracts one, looks at it absentmindedly, as if only now realizing she did so, and puts it back. Finally, she locks eyes with Rin, valuing her once more. All right, little kitten. I'm going to believe in you. I'll display your paintings in here. But from what I can see, this is not good enough. This is not enough. You don't really have a cohesive theme. You don't have enough of the good stuff. You're going to have to work hard to actually get something that we can put on exhibit here. I know. It's a good thing my gallery is so small, no? Rin already spends pretty much every free waking moment she has painting. How is it possible to work any harder? She had to skip class to do more than she already does. How can anyone work that much? Silence falls in the gallery after my words. Sae looks at the art teacher, who is looking contemplatively at his star student. Look at all three of them confused.
It's doable.
What do you mean?
I mean, the school is special. The board puts great value on things such as this. I'm sure I could arrange some leave for her. It's not unprecedented by any means. I'll discuss it with her parents too, but they've been quite supportive. However, it might be a bit of a stretch to get working space for her at the school if she's not actually going to attend class. Actually, I was thinking about this before. Do you use the place upstairs for anything?
No, I don't. Haven't since back then. It's more like a landfill than an atelier now.
Upstairs?
I own a small atelier apartment on the top floor of this building, but it hasn't been in use for... goodness. It's been so long, hasn't it?
Her eyes leap to Nomiya, who has a strange muted expression on his face. Oh! Did he use it? Okay. Anyway. Indeed, do you think?
Nomiya, in all his brashness, has trouble coming straight out with the question. Sae, of course, sees through him and throws up her hand, sighing deeply. I guess I can't say no, can I? Very well. I'll lend you the use of that place as well, if needed. It's not like I really use it.
Excellent! I knew I could count on you.
Don't celebrate yet. Really is a mess, so don't be shocked when you first see it. However, you can use it as you see fit. Since it's an atelier, it already has easels and things like that. You'll need your own tools and materials, and to somehow clean it up a bit. It's not habitable though, so I can't let you live there. I doubt your school or parents will allow that in any case. Okay. However, it's convenient to crash there overnight if necessary. I won't mind.
Ha ha ha! Most excellent, isn't it, Tezuka?
He enthusiastically pats Rin on the shoulder, laughing in relief and happiness, as if all this good fortune landed on him personally. Saya smiles as well, perhaps more amused by the old teacher's glee than anything else. Oh dear, Shinichi, this really is like back then. We're sure we all haven't bitten off more than we can chew. She looks at Rin, who seems to be oddly subdued despite all this. Hope it will be worth it, kitten. She holds out her hand as if to shake Rin's, but realizes the impossibility, quickly moves to pat her on the shoulder. He looks back at her silently, her eyes serious and impenetrable like the dark of the night. Oh, so Rin has a space to fill. Interesting. Rin applies for, and thanks to Nomiya's pressuring the principal, I'm sure, was granted leave for the rest of the term for exceptional extracurricular activities. She has to make up for it during the summer vacation, but it seems she doesn't mind. Rin will still be able to eat and sleep at school, of course. She just doesn't have to go to classes. And I'm not entirely sure if I envy her or not. All makes me feel anxious somehow. It's the last day of school for Rin. I feel like I should send her off with a word of encouragement, or at least say something. Sort of due to my influence, I should decide to dive headfirst into this after all. My classes end a good 20 minutes early, so I walk down the lobby and buy a can of juice, sit down on a bench and wait for Rin. Pull out a novel from my bag and search for the place where I was. Time stretches comfortably over a warm afternoon while I idly sip my orange juice and read a few chapters of my book. You know what? I too can idly sip some orange juice. Orange juice. Good stuff. Ironic enough, I am actually drinking orange juice, guys. Anyway. The plot doesn't seem to advance at all, but it's all the same for me. Bell rings to the end of the school day, and students shuffle to club meetings or outside. Nobody notices me sitting on the bench with my nose in a novel. Keep watch for Rin, but I don't see her familiar face or red-tinted hair passing by. Check my watch 20 minutes past the end of class. The lobby has all but emptied of people again. Even Rin should have already managed to get out of class. Either I missed her walking by or she never came downstairs. Perhaps she went to the art club room for some last-minute things instead. Got held back by her strict homeroom teacher. I haven't really waited that long, but having grown tired of it already, I decided to go find her myself. So if I book back in the bag and throw the now empty juice can in a trash bin, then climb upstairs. The hallway is eerily quiet, as there are no club rooms apart from the art room nearby. Check there first, but not even the teacher is in. Coming back towards the stairwell, I quietly knock on the door of 3-4 and push the door open to peek in. Yellow sunbeams cross the classroom, falling across the floor. The dust and chalk floating slowly in the air makes the light almost palpable. The entire room bathes in the gentle light shining through the windows, washing the shadows away. Only one person is inside the classroom. Of course, it'd be Rin, the only one in the classroom, right? Rin sits in what I assume is her seat, next to the window in the third row. Her head rests against the desk. Wonder if she slept through it all. Apparently not even Emmy had the heart, or maybe the capability to wake her up. Close the door quietly, walking past the neat, even rows of desks. Go over to where she sits. Rin? Mouth is suddenly so dry that the word comes out as a tiny whisper. Oh, I'm sorry. Rin. Did you hear my whispering, guys? Can you hear me now? Good. Good. Anyway, she doesn't answer, so I set my bag down on the floor next to hers and lean over to look at her face. Rin's eyes are peacefully closed, long eyelashes projecting the thin shadows onto her cheeks. Her mouth is slightly open, letting me hear the quiet sound of her breathing. Her usually messy hair is even more so today, lying in complete disarray over half of her face and forehead. Her bag is lying at her feet like a forgotten rag doll. A few books and pens have fallen out of it near her seat, so it makes me smile a little.
See ya. Enjoy your dinner. Touch Rin's head lightly, sweeping a few strands of hair off her ear. Her feels warm against my palm. Rin stirs and I retract my hand on reflex, feeling embarrassed for touching her so casually. She looks so vulnerable, like any sleeping person. It's possible not to feel fondness towards her. Sit on the desktop of whoever is in front of Rin, then draw the window slightly open to get some fresh air in. Hopefully it will wake her up and I won't need to resort to cruder methods. She doesn't wake up, but I didn't really expect her to. But we got this cool like a 4-frame animation of hair movement, which is cool. Looking at her makes me feel tired as well. To be honest, I wouldn't mind a quick nap either, but I content myself with leaning against a large window. Glass is warm against my ear and cheek. These windows face west towards the setting afternoon sun. The afternoon light is slowly melting into Rin's auburn hair, softening her outline so that she seems to be fading into her surroundings. The minute twitches, the minute twitches of her muscles, her hair swaying in the air current, the even rhythm of her breathing, it all gives a strong impression of a dreaming girl. Like all sleeping people, Rin looks like she is far away from this world, some distant dreamlike country. With her, it doesn't feel so obvious that she would ever come back. She seems so detached from her surroundings, even when she's awake. In fact, she has the same kind of air around her when realization hits my consciousness without warning. It sometimes looks like that when she is painting. Her focused expression gives the same feeling of being on the other side of some imaginary gap as looking at her sleeping face does. I feel a pain in my chest. There's no way I can close that gap to be on the same level with her. It hurts, even though I know that it's impossible for any two people to truly understand each other. But Rin, she's almost literally in another world when she's talking about art, thinking about art, or making art. It's a world that I, or anyone else really, can't share with her. Just like the world of dreams. Rin still doesn't show any sign of waking up, so I'm faced with the decision to either rouse her myself or wait for her to waken on her own. I choose the latter. Waiting is something I'm good at. Found that out during my hospitalization, but even the hospital ward was more lively than the school after classes are over. The only sounds in this place are the loud ticking of the clock above the door and the distant voices of students down on the grounds. A genuine summer breeze blows inside from the window I cracked open, full of warmth and carrying the scent of light. Look outside to see where it came from. I'm dazzled almost instantly. The window glass seems to trap all the sunlight within, making it painful to look that way. All I can glimpse through the window are the dark silhouettes of the trees and the wall around the campus against the setting sun's radiance. As I turn back to watch Rin, she stirs again. A single tear worms down from the corner of her eye, so it makes its way across her face before it falls onto the desk. It's tiny, barely a droplet, but it captivates me. Another tear follows the first, and then a third. A feeling of anxiety overcomes me, petrifying me on the spot. So strange. Seeing Rin's face peaceful as she sleeps, at the same time as tears stream down her cheeks, wetting the wooden desktop she rests her head on. I don't know what to do, so I do nothing. Just watch the tears roll one by one down her face. Wonder what she's dreaming about. Rin wakes up after one final flinch, or perhaps because of the tears. Sits upright and yawns so excessively it looks like her jaw might dislocate. Ah. She knows my presence, but her reaction is more like the lack of any reacting at all. This is an acknowledgement, no startled gasp or anything. Hello. Good morning. So groggy she can't even return my smile, that I somehow can't stretch to be entirely honest. We notice her wet cheeks and quickly wipes them on the shoulder of her shirt. Seems she isn't at all surprised or flustered by them. Cried in your sleep. A bad dream? No, it's nothing like that. Something I've learned to do from other people. It's a funny story. I'll tell you later. On second thought, not really that funny at all. I guess I won't tell you. Do you want something, or do you just come watch me sleep? I wanted to see you after classes. Oh, well, it's after classes now, and I am seeing you right here. Yeah, I just want to say good luck or something. Figure the upcoming weeks are going to be a lot of work for you. Thanks. Rin yawns again and blinks a few times. I feel weird. Didn't really sleep much last night at all. Butterflies in your stomach? What? No. I mean, yes. I know what that means. Butterflies. Don't really feel so good now. It'll be fine. You are so confident. Someday, it will bite you in the ear. I'll look forward to it. I think I have to go. I promised Mrs. Ionji that I'd go there straight after school. And now it's after school. It's okay if I come by sometime? I'm guessing you're planning to work long hours. So if you prefer to avoid distractions. It's okay. It's not a distraction. Not like Emmy. Don't bring her with you, though. I wouldn't like that this time. I told her to stay away. I see. Alright then. Rin stands up and silently walks to the door with me following behind. School's empty hallways, devoid of the usual crowds of students, feel very lonely. It's only a few hours since school ended, but the building seems to be all but deserted. Footsteps are all that intrude upon the stillness of the hallways. The change is sudden, but it shows how the building is just an empty shell, dead without its students and teachers to liven it up. It's like the school has become a private world for just the two of us. A desolate place filled with silence and chalk dust. I am going to change. Says this out of the blue while we walk down the stairs from the 3rd floor. Makes me wonder how she views this challenge that lies ahead of her. That's what people must do sometimes. It's the last thing we say to each other that day, even though there's so much that we could talk about. Even those words drown in the all-encompassing silence, disappearing into a stagnant air as if they were never said. Interesting. I feel like a lot's happening on this route, for both Hisao and for Rin. So I think we're gonna leave off with Hisao's little wordies right here, and call it, because for now this has been Anime Fan RK2K. Thank you very much for joining me on tonight's Visual Thursdays. It was fun. I think we enjoyed ourselves. I know I'm like pacing these like out the Rin route. And I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just, it feels like with each one especially, it feels like there's a lot that's being said and there's a lot to absorb. It might just be me. I don't know, but you know, that's why like I've been cutting these off a little bit shorter on Thursdays, so I apologize for that. But you know, I feel like we're getting our story's worth, so it's nice. I'm liking it. I'm liking that. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week, whatever. YouTube, Twitch, wherever you want to find me. Facebook, even. I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you very much for watching once again. Peace.